I want to talk about Jared Goff. Jared Goff, to me, is arguably the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. I think Jared Goff is an accurate thrower of the football, throws the deep ball very well, one of the better leaders at the quarterback position that we have in the National Football League. Jared Goff, it just seems like he gets a lot of crap, and I really don't know why. Let me take that back. I understand why Jared Goff has gotten some crap. The optics aren't great due to the fact that he had a terrible performance in the Super Bowl versus Bill Belichick and the Patriots. That was not a great performance. And listen, the Rams were a very talented team, and they somehow, some way, just couldn't find a way to get it done with Jared Goff as their quarterback. But let me just fast forward a little bit. Right now, today, we're in a situation where Jared Goff just led the Detroit Lions to their first ever playoff win in over 32 years. He was the starting quarterback that helped lead them to that win. So how do we get to this point? Let me just say right here, right now, Jared Goff being traded away by the Rams forced himself to be a better NFL starting quarterback. It made him a better quarterback. It forced Jared Goff to look in the mirror and get better and grow and prosper. In life, you could cry about your situation. You could say you were dealt a bad hand. But what are you going to do about it when it's all said and done? When the chips are put to the table, are you going to pout? Are you going to cry? Or are you going to make the most out of the situation and get better? Jared Goff decided to take that route. And let me be very clear. The Los Angeles Rams' decision to move on from Jared Goff was not the wrong decision. The Rams immediately won a Super Bowl without Jared Goff. Jared Goff, to me, in a Rams uniform, had peaked at one point as a player. He was very mistake-prone at times. And it just seemed like Sean McVay was always holding Jared Goff's hand. But you got to give Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions some credit. Jared Goff goes to Detroit. A lot of people thought his career was going to just die at that point. And I even came out and said once the trade happened, Jared Goff has a lot to overcome as the Detroit Lions starting quarterback. Heck, a lot of people thought that he would maybe potentially get replaced by Spencer Rattler down the road. Remember when Spencer Rattler, had his mania scene? Everyone said, oh, Jared Goff, the Lions are going to replace him. He's not a franchise quarterback. He's just a stop bridge quarterback. But Jared Goff has proved everyone wrong. You go from Sean McVay and those weapons and that coaching staff and that organization to the Detroit freaking Lions, that's a really tough situation to overcome. But Jared Goff has been one of the main centerpieces that has allowed the Lions to develop a potentially Super Bowl caliber culture. A Super Bowl caliber culture could be brewing in Detroit. I don't know if they'll ever quite get to the Super Bowl. Let me just say right now, it's definitely on the table. Time will tell if it actually happens, but Jared Goff, to me, is a capable Super Bowl winning quarterback. If you give Jared Goff a good coach, a good offensive line, and good weapons, he's shown you he can win. We saw it with the Rams, and we're seeing it now with the Lions. This is the best version of Jared Goff we have seen up to this point because Jared Goff has taken the time to really hone his skills and get better. And all of these successful quarterbacks in the NFL, whether it be Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson from the past, what do they all have in common? They've all been doubted at some point. Tom Brady, doubted at Michigan. Russell Wilson didn't initially start at Wisconsin right out the gate. Aaron Rodgers had to go to JUCO college before getting to the University of Cal, and 23 teams passed on Aaron Rodgers in his draft class. So anytime you're doubted, looked upon, and frowned upon, you can use that to cry and pout, or you can use that to motivate yourself and get better. And shout out to Jared Goff because I think that he's done a heck of a job being the Lions starting quarterback. And I believe in Jared Goff and what the Lions are brewing in Detroit. and it could be something that manifests into a Super Bowl victory one day. We shall see.